My name's Lindsey Gilbert, and I'm 27, and I grew up in New York City. So I wasn't raised in a particularly religious family. My dad's actually Jewish, and my mom was Protestant, but she didn't go to church every Sunday, and she wasn't super religious or anything. So about a year ago, or like 2 years ago, I feel like I was in a rocky place in my life and was just like looking for questions and answers. I'd always been sort of spiritual, but not religious. So I ended up going on a trip to Costa Rica. It was a volunteer trip, and it was a conservation trip down there. So my mom had given me a book before I went, which was it was a book by Maria Shriver, and it talks a lot about faith, and one of the things she mentions is talking to God. And I wasn't talking to a particular God, but I just wanted to dig deeper, and like I said, I was looking for answers. So I started talking to God, and the next day, pretty much, someone on my trip was sitting across from me, and we started chatting, and it turned into a pretty long conversation, and he started asking me about religion and if I was religious at all, and I wasn't. So I kind of was like laughing and was like, that's not something I would ever really get into. And he was like, I would encourage you to dig a little deeper and think more about it. And he had told me that he grew up in a religious family, but he got into science and for like 5 years didn't believe in it at all. So his family was obviously praying for him during this time. And one day he was just like so stressed from his family, praying and like always talking to him about it. So he sort of broke down and got on his knees and was like, Jesus, if you're real, show me. And he said pretty much overnight his life changed. And he encouraged me to do the same thing. So like within the next few days, I sort of asked those questions. I was like, if you're real, like show me. I was open to it, and I feel like my life just completely changed. Like I saw everything so differently. So I listened to Timothy Keller. He has a podcast for skeptics, and he talks a lot about morals and why are these morals ingrained in us. When you're young, you pretty much know it's like bad to kill someone, it's bad to lie, but why do we just know those things? And if there isn't a God that we should be following, then those things really don't matter. Like we might as well just walk down the street and like we can kill people and it wouldn't matter, but we have that guilt. So there's obviously something ingrained in us, and it's coming from somewhere. I started praying, and after that I would speak to this guy like every day, and he sort of just he just spoke to me about a lot of things I didn't know, and like I said, it really just opened my eyes.